Hey guys, thanks for checking out the video. I'm Joe. This is my little channel, Random Computes. And in this one, I thought I'd show off the laptop that I used to make my last video. I mentioned that I made the video and did all my gaming for 3 weeks on a Pentium, and someone asked about it, so I went ahead and decided that I'll make a video on it. So let's go over the specs and I'll show you how to survive with a 13-year-old laptop. Alright, so just kind of a quick overview of the laptop. As it sits here, you can maybe tell that there's something slightly funky with it, and that's actually how I ended up saving it from the trash. That and the fact that it's 13 years old. But, so, obviously we have a broken hinge here. Other than the broken hinge, though, it's alright. I mean, everything else works, I guess. Alright, let's go over our specs real quick. We have a Dell Inspiron 1110. We have a dual-core Pentium at 1.3 gigahertz. The model number is u4100. We have 2 gigabytes of DDR2. That is single channel, and unfortunately we only have one slot, so we can't upgrade to dual channel, but we can upgrade to 4 gigabytes later on if we want to. It is running a 64-bit operating system, and as you can see, this PC belonged to Kelly, so thank you, Kelly, for letting me have it. Alright, let's see how she games. Alright, starting us out is Fallout New Vegas, 800 by 600, low settings. And we're not even in a busy area, and we're only getting 10 frames per second, so this is one that's definitely a no-go. Far Cry, 800 by 600, low settings, and getting a little over 30 frames per second. This one's playable. Max Payne 2, ran okay. It was a little over 40 frames per second. There was some stuttering, but overall, it's playable. Medal of Honor Spearhead, 800 by 600, high settings. We're getting 35-40 frames per second, it felt like, because I couldn't get Rivet Tuner to show up on the overlay there. There was a few dips that were down probably in the teens. A little bit distracting, but overall it wasn't a terrible experience. Quake 3 Arena, 1024, 768, medium settings. About 55 frames per second. I could play like this. Hell, I played like this for quite a while. Not very good, but still. Grand Theft Auto Vice City, 640, 480, low settings. We're averaging, well, it says 41, but that ain't right. I don't know what the hell I was doing whenever I recorded 41, but it's a stuttery 25. It's not the best experience. My main thought on this laptop would be emulation. So I bought a Batocera hard drive with like 70,000 games on it. That's kind of its main purpose. So here's just a little bit of the emulation that I messed around with. MAME. This is AquaJack. Any game really that's under freaking 64-bit is gonna run great. So that you have thousands and thousands of games. It's kind of my thought process on this laptop is doing something like this for it anyways, where it's gonna shine. This one's a Atari Jaguar, Atari carts. The Amiga CD32 Black Viper. All the games on the Amiga 32 run pretty well. SNES Star Fox runs great. Hell, as you'd expect, any of the SNES games run flawlessly. Once we start hitting Nintendo 64, it started getting a little bit choppy with some of the games. Like GoldenEye is one of the harder ones to emulate, and we ran it okay. I don't know if I could play through it at this frame rate, but it runs okay. But the other N64 games all seem to run very well. Classic everybody loves, Superman 64. Fucking terrible game. It runs on it, even though it shouldn't run on anything. Need for Speed Underground 2. I did not realize I was in a drifting competition, so my drift score is a little low. So, all the games in the Mega Drive play great. There's Sonic 2. Vector Man runs great as well. I remember renting this one as a kid. We rented the entire system, I don't know why. We had a Super Nintendo, but I guess I really wanted to play the Genesis, so we rented the entire system. Came in this giant case and everything, and this was the game that I played all weekend. I wasn't much better then either. Alright, so Sega Saturn Virtual Street Fighter ran like garbage. It's Tomb Raider on the Sega Saturn, about the same. The Sega Saturn is just too much for this for this laptop. Dreamcast ran okay. Some games had a little bit of issues. Other games ran surprisingly well. Crazy Taxi ran decent. It was decent. I could play this game like this. For the most part, PlayStation ran just fine. This one's Alien Trilogy. It ran flawlessly. If you're in a bind and all you have is something like this, and you don't mind playing older games, there's a lot of fun to be had with a low-powered system like this. Hell, I still play a lot of these games on a much newer and more powerful laptop most of the time. My coworkers joke about how I have a giant gaming laptop to play Super Metroid. A machine like this can help you appreciate the older games that helped shape the gaming industry into what it is today, and they're still worth playing. If you don't believe me, go into a gaming subreddit and say Half-Life 2 sucks and see what happens. If you're wanting to play newer games and have a good internet connection, you can still do it with this laptop. There's game streaming services. You may need to upgrade the RAM for a few of them, but they will work with this. I was able to play Cyberpunk with ultra ray tracing while I was on Steam Link and my home's Wi-Fi. So to conclude, rock what you got. Even if it's an old laptop saved from a junk pile, it doesn't take the latest and greatest to have some fun. And sorry about my upload schedule lately. I've been working most of my days off and haven't had time to make videos, so it is what it is. But if you like this, hit the like. If you hated it, you know what button to press, and I wouldn't blame you one bit. If you want to see more like this, and whenever I have time to upload, subscribe and ring that bell. There'll be a video to the left and to the right. If you see something that interests you, check it out. Thanks for watching, guys. Have fun.